Welcome to our third opening here at 45 Willis Way. Although we are very grateful for use of this building, what makes this year so special is our return to 7 Sharp Road in January. So in honor of that transition, our theme for 2016-17 will be, There's No Place Like Home. We will begin our journey here at this site with a little help from our 5th grade narrators, who are
Elena,
Jordan,
Tamana,
Matthew,
Kyle,
Avigal,
Matthew,
Dalila,
Julie, Amelia.
Let's begin by meeting the staff members new to our school community. In 1st grade, we welcome Mr. Kyle Berry to our team. He is a graduate of Towson State, where he was a valedictorian of his class.
New to our speech department is Miss Mary Walworth, who will work closely with her colleague Miss Laura Stanko in servicing all children with speech IEPs. Speaking of IEPs, we welcome Miss Alyssa Both to the Child Study Team as our building-based learning consultant.
We're excited to have added another autistic class for grades 3 to 5, and with it comes teacher Miss Carrie Coletto, who has been in the district for several years, as well as paraprofessional Miss Jackie Morrell.
Finally, Miss Terry Blair joins us from JMI as our math specialist, working closely with reading specialist Mrs. Steinhardt, as well as all classroom teachers to enhance instructional practice in all content areas. She will also be a co-advisor along with Miss Kelly Howarth of Odyssey of the Mind.
I'm going to guide you down the yellow brick road of protocols and procedures, starting with the parent portal. Once you gain access to the site, you can view all of the online forms, including the mobile device handbook, your child's grades, attendance record, and the report cards for each marking period. If you do not remember your username and password, please email at genesis.parent@edison.k12.nj.us.
Next along the path is the school's webpage at edison.k12.nj.us. Here you can find the 2016-17 version of the parent guide. Please take the time to look through this handbook for everything you need to know to make the school year the best it can be for your family.
Here you will find a list of all staff members, the calendar of events, including scheduled 1:30 dismissals and days that school is closed.
Please read carefully the school procedures and supervision plan starting on page 8 and going through to page 13. This section contains our arrival and dismissal procedures, as well as your responsibility if you change how your child is getting home. The office must receive a written note, no post-its please, on that day, or an email can be sent to the teacher and the office prior to 12 o'clock.
The building is locked and security cameras are rolling 24/7. If you wish to gain entry, you must ring the bell, state your name, and reason for the visit. It will all be recorded. Once you are buzzed in, you must report directly to the office or to Ms. Semino, our hall monitor. If your child is late to school, you must follow the same procedure and sign them in.
If you are driving your child to school for either arrival or dismissal, please park in the lot on the same side as the school, not the main parking area. This way your child will never be crossing between the many buses that arrive daily. That creates an extremely dangerous situation. Also, just a reminder that it is illegal to park in handicap spaces, unless of course you are disabled and have the appropriate hang tag.
Page 26 contains the key points from the nurse. Please follow them and always make sure your child is fever-free for 24 hours before sending them back to school. Additionally, we have already experienced lice in some of our classrooms. Call or email the nurse immediately so that all children in the room can be examined. You will be notified when this happens. Edison has a no-miss policy. Your child must be examined by the nurse before re-entry is allowed.
The parent guide also describes the roles of the key personnel in the building, like our guidance counselor, Ms. Bennett, as well as the other special programs and components of your child's day.
At the end of the video, the classroom teacher will take you through your child's daily routine from the time you enter the building until the dismissal bell.
Please use this evening to ask any questions you have about the curriculum, technology, and assessments that are built into our instructional program. Conferences will take place in November. That is the time to sit down one-on-one and find out about your child's progress.
Every part of our philosophy at James Monroe is built on one very special tenet known as the Golden Rule, and that is to treat others the way we wish to be treated. If all of us, parents, staff, and students, let that be our guiding force, then we will not only have an exceptional school year, but we will be ready for whatever comes our way.
And speaking of that, we have one more place to visit on this winding path. So let's all get ready and follow the yellow brick road.
We have arrived at 7 Sharp Road.
Although we're all excited to be here,
We'll have to wait a little bit longer to go inside.
But you're gonna get a sneak preview.
Of what we can expect come January.
Follow us!
We'll start here at the main entrance, where there's a reception window, making your secure access much more efficient. The office will be to the right of this entry, in full view of any visitors to the building.
The lobby area is straight ahead, and here is where we will find the granite sign from the original building on display, serving as a memorial to what once stood in this footprint. To the left, we find the cafeteria, in exactly the same space as the old all-purpose room, but what is remarkably different is the kitchen, cooking, and storage area.
From here, we can walk across to the band, strings, vocal, music rooms, both of which are insulated to absorb sound so as not to impact surrounding areas. This leads right into the gym and stage area, also acoustically sound, making it the perfect setting for our evening concerts and other performances, like getting us ready for a production of The Wizard of Oz in April.
Let's walk outside and highlight the beautiful exterior of the building, where louvers are placed above the windows to keep the rooms from getting direct sunlight. When we walk back inside, we are entering the rear of the wing that houses the second grade classrooms. Each teacher will have a dedicated space of no less than 800 square feet. You'll also find a small group instruction room, which can be utilized by one of our specialists.
The next room we come upon is the art room, with not one, but 3 sinks. Something Mrs. DeCoit has had to do without since she came to James Monroe. Teachers finally had their own dining room with a kitchen area and a workspace that is separate but still connected as part of a suite, so that those eating their lunch are not disturbed by staff members using tools of the trade to get ready for instruction.
We now find ourselves back in the lobby with the child's study team, speech, and guidance rooms on the left. This suite of the rooms also contains its own conference room, allowing for the confidentiality that is necessary for many of the meetings that will take place here.
On the right side is where Miss Hook and Miss Cameron will be sitting, waiting to welcome everyone upon their arrival. Just behind them will be the supervisors and Miss Zapatism's office. Hopefully, most of us will never see the inside of that room after this evening. There is also a conference area where any grade level and administrative meetings can be held.
Behind this space sits the health office suite, with a separate sick room and bathroom attached, allowing privacy and seclusion for those in need of it. Its placement is also strategic in that the area closest to it will house the self-contained first and kindergarten classrooms.
Our first grade classrooms begin and end this part of the building, with kindergarten and classrooms for our autistic students in between. This area will have its own entranceway directly across from the original playground, which is still standing. Notice the kindergarten rooms each have their own bathrooms.
When you look in all of these rooms, you can see the beautiful cabinetry, cubbies, soothing pastel colors, and floor designs that make each unique. What you might also be able to notice is the amount of light that shines in from every direction through the spacious windows that help bring every room to life. In each wing, there are also student bathrooms, so pristinely white and made to stay that way.
We are going to re-enter from the front and take the much easier to climb stairs than we're used to the second floor. The first thing that catches your eye is the enormous skylight,
which, in addition to the windows, allows as much light as possible to brighten the building. Walking straight ahead, we'll find 2 more small group rooms, 2 4th grade rooms, and at the far end of the wing, bound by our new 3rd grade classrooms.
Walking back up the hallway, we find another teacher workroom to be utilized by the intermediate grade staff. The front hallway contains an intermediate autistic classroom. The rest of the 4th grades and houses the showcase of this 2nd floor, which is the library and media center.
This magnificent space can serve a multitude of functions and will hopefully be an area where we can set up a studio from which to do live broadcasts like a morning ritual that brings us together as a community.
We wrap up the 2nd floor with the wing dedicated to the senior members of our school, the 5th graders, and 1 more small group room.
This space will give them the opportunity to come together with their peers and work in teams on the many project-based learning tasks aligned with their in-depth curriculum.
Before we make our way out, I'd like to introduce and thank the gentleman who was the site manager for this huge undertaking, Mr. Tony Toledo. We appreciate all he has done to get us back here.
Well, we've traveled the length of our yellow brick road. As we look up at the flag that has flown at this site since March 22nd, 2014, and reflect on the journey that brought us back here, it lets all of us know that, as Glinda the Good Witch stated,
Home is knowing.
Knowing your mind.
Knowing your heart.
Knowing your courage.
If we know ourselves, we're always home, anywhere.
So as we make our way back to 45 Willis Way, it's time to listen to the real experts on your child's instructional day, the classroom teachers. I wish you all an informative evening and a safe trip home.